Hi, I'm Ellie from crystallinks.com. It's Monday, March 20th, 2017. A lot of things going on today. The norm is that today is the first day of spring, where many parts of the world are experiencing warmer weather, including here in the city, as we just finished a big snow. But when I think of spring, I think of truths that are coming to the surface when things come up. There are so many things that are being unraveled in politics and in other areas these days. You don't know where truth begins, conspiracies end, and it just goes on and on and on. All that people seem to be doing, especially Trump and company, is just changing the narrative. Okay, that's really all it is. Trump does something that's a mistake. Instead of saying, I made a mistake, I'm inexperienced, back up on it, and restructure what he said. He doesn't do that. He just diverts. And when he diverts and puts attention to something else, he only makes his life worse. He makes matters worse for Americans and for himself. The big news, of course, today was FBI Director Comey coming forward, and he confirms that the FBI is investigating a Trump-Russian collusion with the U.S. presidential election last November. These are very big allegations, and Trump has tried very hard to steer away from these discussions, to answer questions about them. He'll talk about anything else. But the fact that he hasn't shown his tax returns, the fact that there's so much coming out between members of the people who work with him, members of the cabinet, connections and ties to Russia, this scandal is going to be a big one. It starts now well, not exactly now, but now we're in Aries, and Aries is a fire sign, and Aries says we will not go quietly into the night. We are going to get the truth about the illusion, about what's really going on. There is no one who doesn't believe that Trump and the Russians had some play in his becoming president, okay? They didn't actually make him president, but they've done a lot of cyber attacks. They've done a lot of cyber hacking. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. We used to think we knew what was going on behind the scenes, and we went into all the conspiracy theories. No, wash that away. Now we're into cyber conspiracies, and they are interesting, juicy, and the world is filled with people who can hack. I mean, the average high school kid who's into tech and comes home from school and works at his computer can learn how to hack. It's not that hard. Somebody said to me, would you like to learn how to hack? And I said, no. I'm kind of not really into doing that kind of thing, but it's very enticing, especially if you're a young person and somebody offers you money and your brain is programmed to do that, which my brain is not. But getting back to three major things that are going on today. One is the connection between Trump and the Russians, okay, before and during the election. The other one is, to avert from that first topic, Trump had made a ridiculous statement that everybody's aware of, that former President Obama hacked Trump Towers before he became president. No one really believed it. Maybe there were a few people who did, but the truth be known, nobody really who knows anything about this believes any of that. Another diversion. And they were looking for evidence. Of course, Trump didn't come up with evidence. Trump talks the big talk, and he tells you we're going to do this, we're going to build a wall, and Mexico will pay for it. That wall business was in the news last week, and he doesn't. Now he's talking about, I have proof that, Trump, but he kind of wiretapped, and then he walks that back, and then he diverts, and it's very, very sad, because sooner or later, between the situation with Korea and so many other volatile things that are going on in the world now, something serious is going to happen, and he's going to have to make some very important decisions very quickly. And what advisors and people around the globe, not just here in the United States, are worried about is he will make a bad decision, and there will be a lot of collateral damage. I don't doubt something like that would happen. I mean, this man was given the opportunity to be a president, okay, of the United States, to make important decisions. And though there are those who justify and say he's doing this and that in his budget, there's reasons why he created the budget and all the budget cuts. That takes me to maybe there are reasons, maybe there aren't. Every single thing that's done politically, economically, there's always the positives and the negatives to it. Okay? It doesn't matter what decisions Trump makes. It doesn't matter what decisions you make. I was out in the store today and some guy was telling his friend, no matter what I do, it always screws up. Okay? There's always going to be the positive and the negative. That's the algorithm of our reality. So let's say Trump came in. There's no way Trump or any other president, Hillary, who was part of the old cabals and the old world orders, that's gone. There's no way that these people are going to fix things. They can try. Trump in his first 100 days wants to make a big statement. I truly believe he really wants to help people. He really wants to do good for the country. He really wants to make things better for people, and but he doesn't do it right. There's something wrong. He has a personality disorder. You can say, yeah, it's his ego. There's a lot of things that are off that people have analyzed. This is what's wrong with him. Mostly it seems like immature, childish behavior that doesn't have a filter. But he just sees something on TV and he speaks out about it like it's a truth. And he can't do that. He can't continue to do that. And I'm sure that there are people behind the scene who are making a growing list of things that he has said and done that are wrong. And this is all going to come back and bite him in the ass, bite him wherever you want to say. But he can't continue at this pace no matter what. I mean, no one wanted more than me for Trump to come in and say, okay, now I am president. I don't have to prove anything. I can just go forward. And I can do this, I can do that. I can make things better for people. I really believe that's in his heart. It was in the heart of all the presidents. But saying is one thing, doing is another. There is the third event today is Judge Neil Gorsuch, who is now with the Senate Judiciary Committee, to see if they'll vote on him as the next Supreme Court Justice. Whether they will or whether they won't, there's going to be people who will always say, no, he said this, he did that, he's going to be against this and against that, and then there will be people who will back him. There is no way of coming to a happy resolve in any of this. No matter who's running the country, even if it wasn't Trump, even if it was Mike Pence or somebody else. When I remember Obama, when he was president, and I liked him. I mean, there's a lot of what he did that I didn't agree with, but I liked him as a person. I liked the family. I liked what he did. And yet, people stood against him. They didn't like this. They didn't like that. People are at a crossroads in their lives, everybody, where they are going to fight the injustices, where they are going to fight the battles, express an opinion. You can't run away from this whole Trump scenario of, Trump is here today, then let him just handle his job and we want to go back to our lives. I'm not going to talk about politics. I'm not going to watch politics. I'm not going to discuss it with my friends. I don't care. You can't help that, because history is being made. And Trump he's out there now, and I don't know how he is going to respond to what's going on today. It's a very, very powerful day, forgetting that it's just spring when the truths come out, and it's Aries. It's alien abduction day. I don't think that has anything to do with Trump, although, who knows, somebody's out there is maybe saying, aliens put Trump in office. He's working with an alien human faction. I don't know. I can't go along with that. It's also the Iranian New Year, pronounced, I believe, Nowruz. That's the energy of Iran and the relationship between Iran and the United States and its other neighboring countries like Israel. Big trouble ahead for those countries. There's troubles ahead for North Korea because they've got themselves a very volatile leader now who is trying to blow up the United States. There's just so many things wrong in this hologram at this point in the game that you and I could sit here for hours and we could analyze, we could think about it, we can say what can be fixed, what can't be fixed. I just say that the way the algorithm for our experiences in this hologram or simulation was set up, there is and always will be dramas. A new narrative created here, a change of narrative there. It doesn't matter. Do you buy into the narrative? Do you care what's going on? How could you not care? Everything that is happening now is not just affecting you and I, it's affecting everybody. So you got to say, all right, I got to care. When I do my e-zine blog every day, I like to look for the sciences. And now budget cuts are saying, oh, this and that with science, not going to be enough money for this and that, But I like to look at the sciences and steer away from politics and economics. I can't do that anymore. It's everywhere. It's affecting everyone. So all I do is just go along. I report as guided. And that's really the most any of us can do. We're just living this end of this simulation experience, and that's all I can really say on it. I do believe that the truth about Trump and saying that Obama wiretapped him, that's pretty much going to come out. There's no proof. That's really the second big report. That there's no proof to that. It never happened. It really didn't. It's just ridiculous. And then the other story from Comey about Trump and a Russian, a Russia collusion, that's going to hang around, stay around, and I don't care what Trump does, that one's going to be part of everything, and it could take him down. I mean, some people say you can't impeach a president that quickly. We're going to see. A lot of people will go after impeachment with him. There's so much going on. It's just, I'm 74, and I have seen many different presidents come in. I've seen some that were hated and some that were respected and all kinds of scenarios. I've watched them all, usually from the distance. I don't like to get involved with politics because the real truths lie behind the scenes. But this is really, really going to be one for the history books. So on that note, I hope whatever you're doing today on March 20th, you're having a nice day. We're coming into nicer weather. You can plan, for change. Now, there's a big time to change a job. Relationships end now, by the way. All those relationships that started in the fall and went through the winter, they're either going to move forward now into something more serious or they're going to end. So you have to decide, where your relationship is going. And if you're in a bad relationship, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, something now when Aries, especially Aries going into Taurus, happens, there's this freedom factor where people say, I'm not living in a good relationship, I really want to move on. So these are all the little things to put in the back of your mind today. Until our next video blog, have a good one. Thank you.